I'm Spencer Carroll.
And I'm David Wallace.
We welcome you to this week's edition of News Flash.
We began this week with some wild weather. Hurricane Ida slammed into Louisiana on Sunday as a Category 4 hurricane with 150-mile-per-hour winds. Millions of people were left without power in both Mississippi and Louisiana. By the time Ida hit Vicksburg, the storm had weakened to a tropical storm early Monday morning as rescue efforts began in the coastal communities.
Thankfully, our Vicksburg community was mostly spared with only mild damage to some local residents. Here at VCS, principals were in contact with local authorities over the weekend and chose to close our schools Monday due to the possibility of severe weather. With more on this topic, we have St. Al principal, Mrs. Carla McCann.
Anytime that we have a threat of severe weather, we stay in contact with Warren County Emergency Management Director John Elfer. He receives briefings each day with the National Weather Service, and then he reports back to us. He kind of lets us know what would be in our best interest and the best interest of the community. He usually has special concerns about students being on the roads, and so we discuss that, and then Ms. Arledge and I get together and we make a final decision based on those recommendations.
Thank you, Mrs. McCann, for keeping our student safety a top priority. Another story we had over the past week was Flash Sports.
That's right, David. The Flash's home opener against the Centerville Tigers started strong with a spirited pep rally and the annual Flash Dash race across the field. With more on Flash's Sports, we have sports reporter Will Keene.
Thanks, Spencer. This week, St. Al sports were overshadowed by Hurricane Ida. There were 5 sporting events that were canceled, including the Flashettes State Championship, which has been rescheduled for September 22nd. All other games are in the process of being rescheduled, and if you would like to keep up with it, please follow the VCS social media platforms. The St. Al swim team had the week off this week as their meet was canceled due to the threat of Hurricane Ida. They will continue their season on September 11th as they swim at the Vicksburg City Pool. In softball news, the Lady Flashes beat Jackson Academy for the second time this season. This brings their record to 3-4. They were scheduled to play Copiah Academy, Madison St. Joe, and Cathedral this week, but their games against Copiah and St. Joe were canceled due to the bad weather. The Lady Flashes soccer team lost to Pillow Academy on Saturday, and their game against Madison St. Joe was postponed due to the weather. This will give them the week off as they dive into district play. Unfortunately, the Flashes football team lost their home opener to Centerville on Friday by a score of 42-27. Padre Gray led the Flashes' offensive attack by accounting for 2 touchdowns, and Chase Tucker led the Flashes' defense with 14 tackles and a sack. They will take on the Riverfield Academy Raiders this Friday in Rayville, Louisiana, so bring your country spirit to the pep rally today, where the theme is Hunt the Raiders. David?
Thanks, Will. A special tradition we have here at St. Aloysius is our commitment to service.
With more on St. Al service, we sat down with Theology Department Chair, Mrs. Joan Thornton.
Every year, St. Aloysius requires that our students participate in our learning service program. It helps the community as well as themselves. They have the opportunity to encounter Christ and the opportunity to see where their gifts and talents lie, and hopefully in the future continue to serve, whether it's in their professional career or just serving in their local community.
Thank you, Mrs. Thornton, for all you do for our school. Here are a few upcoming service opportunities for anyone still wanting some service hours.
Next, we move on to Gabby with our Teacher of the Week.
Thanks, David. Today we'd like to introduce St. Aloysius teacher, Miss Hannah Meeks. She teaches World History, German 1 and 2, and 11th grade English. She's the daughter of AP Biology teacher, Miss Dawn Meeks, and is obsessed with her pug, Honey Butter Fritz $.
The first $sign is silent.
Okay. So, out of all the subjects you teach, which one is your favorite and why?
Oh, I think that's really hard. I don't actually have a favorite because they're all so different, and I get to kind of nerd out in different ways. So, I've always been a language nerd and I've always been a history nerd. So it just kind of lends itself to my classroom weirdness, I guess.
And what made you think to become a teacher?
Well, that's kind of a hard question, actually, because I didn't want to be a teacher. I was raised by teachers. All my mom's friends were teachers, and I never saw that for myself. When I was younger, I actually wanted to be Indiana Jones, with everything that entails. And when I was in college, I woke up one day and decided that I didn't want to go down that path, that I did want to teach, but I wanted to teach abroad. So I actually came about it from sort of a circular way, because my first teaching job was actually in the Czech Republic. And then I ended up here in 2014. So it's been a long time. But I've really enjoyed it because I've gotten to do a lot of things that I really love, and I don't know, St. Al just has a way of grabbing you.
Thank you, Ms. Meeks. Next we go to Christine with a developing story.
Thanks, Gabby. With the Labor Day holiday coming up, students will have not 1, but 2 days off next Monday and Tuesday. We wanted to see how St. Al student body was planning on enjoying the time off, so I took some time to interview a few of our yearbook students. How are you planning to spend your 4-day weekend this weekend?
I'm planning to spend my 4-day weekend by going to the football game Friday night, hanging out with friends, and going to the lake for Labor Day.
What's better, going out of town or having a staycation?
I think it's better going out of town because you get to have fun with your family, get your little groove on, you know what I'm saying? Like, get your little groove on, go shopping with your family and everything, have fun. Staying home is basically what you do during the week.
Now we go to David with more on the weather.
Thank you, Christine. As y'all know, I'm your weather reporter, David Wallace, with this week's weather. Next week is going to be weird, folks. Current reports show that on your Labor Day weekend, it's going to be partly sunny and cloudy, with scattered showers on Wednesday, with a high of around 90. The rest of the week looks mostly cloudy, with a good chance of rain and highs of 90 throughout the weekend. That's your flash weather, and now in our final segment, we go to Rachel Dahl. Rachel?
Thank you, David. Today's saint of the day is St. Gregory the Great, also known as Pope Gregory I. He is not only the patron saint of musicians, but also of students and teachers, which makes him the perfect saint to talk about at school, and explains why some teachers can be heard muttering under their breath, "St. Gregory, pray for us." And now for this week's fun fact. Did you know that Labor Day first began in September 1882, when the unions of New York City decided to have a parade to celebrate their members being in unions? At least 20,000 people were there, and the workers had to give up a day's pay to attend. Labor Day also brings the end of hot dog season and the age-old question, is it okay to wear white after Labor Day? According to Emily Post, the tradition started because white indicated you were still in vacation mode at your summer cottage. No offense, Mrs. Post, but I say as long as it's 90 degrees outside, wear your summer whites, people. And now back to our lead anchors, Spencer and David.
Thanks, Rachel. And that's all the time we have for you today. Have a great Labor Day weekend. This is Spencer Carroll.
And this is David Wallace. Stay safe out there, Flashes. Thank you for tuning in to this week's report.
We'll see you next week for another News Flash.